Welcome to part 3 of this little mini documentary series that I'm doing about the King of Kowloon. I'd like to begin part 3 with a quote. His spontaneous acts of writing carry traces of anarchist thought. He intentionally refused to live according to accepted norms, disregarding his clothing and appearance to the point of appearing slovenly and unkempt, yet lived a full and satisfying life. His image in the memory of the people of Hong Kong is that of a smiling, shirtless man on crutches, much like the contented and highly venerated Maitreya Bodhisattva, or a mendicant monk wandering his mortal realm, his every action proclaiming, "Long live the King of Kowloon." Now sadly, aside from having his legs crushed in a work-related incident, his family, including his 8 children, disowned him at various points in his life. They had said that he was mentally unbalanced and a public nuisance. But as we learnt in part 2, he included his family when he wrote his calligraphic works on the streets of Hong Kong. And of course his wife had grown tired of his obsession of painting on the streets of Hong Kong. The way society saw him as an insane person caused his family to feel ashamed. He loved his family, but by figuring them so prominently in his work, he embarrassed them and in their eyes brought them down in society. While I don't think Mr. Zeng was insane, I do believe he was someone who devoted their life to a belief, with an extreme level of passion that would isolate him from society because of the folklore created around him, and in turn by those he loved for his act of love.
你中唔中意佢咁樣寫字啊？
梗係唔中意啦！我哋打政府工啊，死到四圍都係，又要有得行，仆街。
How would you feel if you honestly believed you were entitled to huge swaths of land taken from you, and you were prepared to fight for it for yourself and your family? The act of refusing to conform to what mainstream society entertains always sets those individuals as troublemakers. Society needs the agitators to push the boundaries of what's humanly possible. To add further ridicule to the perception of Zeng Zhou, a Hong Kong magazine named him one of the city's 10 least influential people. Even with non-influencers, there's always like a rock solid 10-point list to say that these people aren't influencers.
Why did they pick 10? Why 10? Why not 9 or 11? I'll tell you why. Because 10 sounds official. 10 sounds important.
寫爛晒啦，啲嘢唔錯嘛？啲字寫得都唔錯。中意我？唔係幾中意啊？唔係幾中意。佢嗰啲周街寫字整到周街好，即係黑色咁啊，係咯。
Of course, with hindsight on my side, I would disagree, and the simple fact that you're talking about somebody would imply that they've had an influence on you already anyway, and never mind the fact that the influence is on a magazine, and who knows what the editorial slant is towards the 10 non-influential people in Hong Kong. Was the article there to actually paint him as an outlier and to further mock him? And if I may be so bold, no you can't. This YouTube series in itself is an illustration to show his influence and his legacy, as will the final part of this series will explain.